Doesn't matter who you talk to in D.C., covering up for the leader of the Democrats is job number one. It trumps national security, the readiness of our military, and even obeying the law. Everything is to be sacrificed to protect one of the most cowardly, oppressive, and un-American ideologies and the leaders who are foisting it upon us. The problem is that those who think they are entitled to power have only that. The sense of entitlement. They have no other discernible talent or qualifications. And that fact is literally killing us. When hiring Democrats, check boxes, not qualifications. That's the sad reality we confront in today's preamble. One of the poster children for unqualified political patronage hires is Alejandro Mayorkas. The Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security, who doesn't secure the homeland, was hired because he's an unethical failure. Under his tenure, the United States has endured massive, uncontrolled illegal immigration. Our people have endured over 7 million illegal aliens invading our country and counting. Over 2 million people are known gotaways. They could be foreign military, narco-terrorists, radicalized Islamic fundamentalist terrorists. We just don't know. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. Joe Biden is quietly selling off border barrier materials so that the Republicans won't be able to use those materials to stop the Democrats' grotesque illegal immigration campaign and all the harm it's doing or will do in the future. In Houston, Texas, a military-age illegal alien who took advantage of the Biden-Mayorkas Democrat illegal immigration campaign just waltzed right into our country at the beginning of the year. Last week, he allegedly raped an 11-year-old girl and then stuffed her dead body into a laundry bag underneath her bed. Democrat policies made that happen. And votes from GOP politicians like Texas Senator John Cornyn in that disgraceful omnibus bill funded it. Democrats, who are running blue cities into the ground, have pushed pro-crime policies while pushing to defund the police. That has led to massive crime waves and a mass exodus from police departments. Now Democrats are seeking to hire illegal aliens to fill the void. Let that sink in for a minute. Democrats are so devoid of common sense, so devoid of competence, so devoid of conscience, they see no problem in hiring criminal foreign nationals to enforce laws on we Americans. Out to Democrat-controlled Hawaii, where wildfires killed over 100 people. CBS News reported that left-wingers hired a guy to run their emergency management agency who had no experience in disaster response. Of course they did. That's right, Democrats are entitled to taxpayer-funded jobs, didn't you know? Whether they are qualified or capable of doing those jobs is immaterial to a Democrat. But it gets worse. In an effort to hide just how big a screw-ups Democrats are, the mayor of Maui simply refusing to give out any information.
Are there children that have been found, and is there any hesitance to announce that, because that'll obviously just be a different level of heartbreak?
I don't know.
Yes, you do. How many children are missing? You know.
If I knew the answer to that, I would be happy to answer that.
You have no estimate as to how many children are missing?
I guess we can end this right now if you guys want. Sorry.
This is one of the biggest questions that the people of Lahaina have, but you don't want to answer.
It always takes one or two to ruin it for everybody.
But one or two Democrats to ruin it for everybody. But it gets even worse. Another Democrat hire, M. Kaleo Manuel, is now the former deputy director of the Hawaii Commission on Water Resource Management. Reports indicate that he waited for more than 5 hours to release water during the wildfires that devastated Maui. Mr. Manuel is consumed with the E part of the DIE agenda, diversity, inclusion, equity. And as the acronym suggests, equity kills every bit as much as Democrat policies do. And that leads us to the biggest box checker of them all, Joe Biden. As you know, Joe Biden has made a career of lying about his qualifications, beliefs, life story, you name it, he's lied about it. And yesterday, after initially having no comment about the wildfires, he made matters worse because of his party's incompetence. Joe Biden visited Hawaii and did what all Democrats do, make other people's suffering all about Democrats.
I don't want to compare difficulties, but we have a little sense, Jill and I, what it's like to lose a home. And lightning struck at home on a little lake. It's outside of our home, not a lake, a big pond. and hit a wire and came up underneath our home into the heating ducts, the air conditioning duct. To make a long story short, I almost lost my wife, my 67 Corvette, and my cat.
Yeah, because that's the same, Joe. That's good grief. You know, time was Democrat voters had standards for their politicians and government officials. Those days are long gone. As a consequence of left-wing media conspiring with GovEd, left-wing voters will elect Democrats again and again and again, even if their towns and cities and states are overrun with crime, failure, and death. But consider this. Now, most of those voters are uninformed and duped. They watch MSNBS and CNN. Courtesy of the basket of biased press, they have no clue. What was the excuse of these senators who know how unqualified Democrats really are? What was the GOP's excuse for funding all of this incompetence? If these folks are your senators, perhaps you and thousands of your friends should ask them.